Sunday morning, 62 degrees, much clearer than yesterday. We'll see how this goes. Some colors in the sky. And it's really too bad that brilliant bright spot behind the tree isn't showing up better. But the rest of that's showing up really good. Level it off and it still doesn't show up quite as well as it really is. Oh well, you get the gist. I'm a little late this morning, but hell with it, Sunday morning, right? Go out and run that gun down the side of the hill there and stretch it out as far as I can without driving through the creek and let her run. I don't know how many hours it's been sitting right there, but with when I moved it last night, I figure maybe it's been there for an hour, which doesn't hurt nothing. Maybe it's drowning a couple of those damn gophers. I'm hoping I can do this without shutting the pump off, because all I gotta do is pull a pin and turn the turntable a little bit and stretch it out. The issue I had last night was I had to move the whole gun, and hose is flexible and all, but it didn't want to bend where it wanted to bend, and being chained together to the pipe, it wasn't really in where it needed to be, and as soon as it wiggled, it did a little funky flip flew and off it hooked. So that was my issue last night. I didn't like that. It took me way longer than it should have. So anyway, good Sunday morning, folks. Let's see what we get done today. May not be much because I'm just freaking whooped. What I'm doing, I'm backed in the corner again. Why? Because he wanted to eat out of the bucket when I was trying to bring him over here. And she just won't quite let me touch her, but she'll touch me. And all of these will come in here while I'm in here. And as soon as I put a little grain in, the rest of them will come in. Yeah, they're not supposed to know that this gate's not latched. Because after I feed here, since they're over here eating off the ground, some of them, I sneak out that gate with my hands full. So, yeah, make these little twerps happy. He's going to eat me. I know he is. Oh, bud. Yeah, I'll get them fed. They'll be happier. This is that trailer that belongs to the people Becky does the book work for. He was going to bring it down a couple months ago when I actually had the time to really work on it. I didn't do everything I was going to do for him. Hell with it. Because couldn't do what I wanted to do here. These stupid things should be capped. And capped plus have a drain hole, which they now have drain holes. And yes, they're full of shit. He's going to have to take a water hose and flush this stuff out. That's why these are pregnant. The way they make square tube is they take round pipe and they run it through a set of dies and it makes square tubing out of it. Well, if you want to make it back to round, fill it full of water and let it freeze. It'll do it. This hinge was broke clear out. You can see, I think you can see, maybe. There you go. That's what I had to weld up there. And then the pin sticking up was bent. This lower one is still bent, but it works. It works free. The only place that's not free is like about an inch and a half before it's clear shut. Lubricated stuff up, straighten it out, beat the hell out of the mating surfaces of these tubes so that they're actually flat so you can see daylight through there. They're no longer fighting each other. And had to fix, I guess it was this one that was broke out. Straighten this up for him. So at least I got that done, but I was hoping he'd get it today. It's going to be a couple days before he comes to get it. So I got to find a spot out of the way besides where it was. And oh my God, look, Rainy's outside in 95-degree heat. Yeah, another day too freaking hot. I think the cows are still out, but they're happy because they're out there on that nice green pasture right next to where I'm at. I see one right now. Can we zoom in enough? Yep, that's a cow butt. That's a couple cows. The other side of the tractor out there. They are working their way through that nice lush green grass they got over there. See if we can keep the rest of it green. So anyway, that's what I've been doing today. Irrigation in this. Did something else too. I don't know what it was. Yeah, I forget half of what I even video for you guys. The time I go to put it up, I'm thinking about, all right, what was the highlights of the day? I'm trying to remember what I did. Need to get this thing together and get it out of here. But, you know, that ain't gonna happen right away either. And there's my beautiful color I used because we happen to have that color. I usually paint that kind of stuff red so you can see it. I actually just painted to protect it because that slides in about that far. So, but the other end, I think it's still sitting outside. I got to find the band and then a hook that goes on it. Might have to go steal one off an old piece of pipe. I don't know. But there's the new hose. There's one fitting for it. They slide right in, so I hope they hold. I'm seriously considering maybe smearing a little bit of sealer on the tube when I put it in. Number one, it'll keep it from trying to seep around. Even if it's tightened down tight, it'll still try to seep. And number two, that'll give it a little grip on the inside, since there's no ribs on what I'm using to help hold it. I got a feeling this is made for 3-inch that's got the ribs on it, so it'll hold. One way or the other, it's going to work. And I don't know if this will be the end of the video or not, but either way, thanks for watching. If I get something else cool, I'll show you. Hope you've all had a good Sunday. Oh, there it is. Done. I don't know if I'll put the clamps in the right spot or not, but tough shit. Right there's the end of the tube, so it's on there good. It's toward that end. I used some of that Max RTV on it. Just put 3 light little beads around, slid them together, and of course, you know, you get a little slit out the end. That's the way it works. Hopefully, they're clocked right. The white band down the side seems to do kind of a spiral, but it's all was laying this way, so they should be right. Let that set for the night. Maybe use that tomorrow when we go hook up. Shut that thing off because I'm done in here. It's too warm in here anyway. Oh, the other thing I'm going to shut off. I wasted that battery earlier working on that trailer. Always shut those damn things off. That one takes a minute to decide it's off. And set the battery out of it. I don't know how you think, but I figure if the battery's in there, it can still backfeed, even though there should be a diode in there, so it can't, but you know. Big berry grower not too far north of us. They lost their shop here about 5-6 years ago. They had a bank of those on a shelf in the break room, and they had them all plugged in all the time. One of those things decided that maybe it had a battery on it, and it was trying to charge a battery that wasn't there, and it overheated. And the kicker is right above it, literally right above it, was their propane heater. At the other end of the building, they had their shop and their cold storage. Propane tank was at the far end. And the line went up into the rafters, came down through the ceiling. So if you get a half of this, you get a hint of what happened. It only took a couple minutes after one of those little buggers sparked the fire for it to go right up the wall, get to the rubber propane hose where it turned to go into the heater. And let's just say that by the time they even knew they had a fire, it was too late. We could see, well, we couldn't see the glow from here. We had to go up on the road, but up on the road we could see the glow. and they're about 3 miles away with a bunch of trees in the way. And a friend of mine lives right there, and I think she's like 4 houses away from their shop, and their shop's set out quite a ways away from everything else. She put some pictures on Facebook, and the pictures she got were pretty spectacular, really. Kind of like some of my sunrise pictures coming through the trees. It took it about a half an hour, and it was all gone. Fire department was there fairly quick, but there's no way they had enough water on scene soon enough, because it just worked its way back that propane line and took everything. So anyway, my phone's about to die, so I'm going to say thank you for watching. Maybe we'll see that fancy irrigation master hose in place tomorrow. Maybe. See what tomorrow brings. I just know it's plenty warm today, and tomorrow's probably going to be the same.